Tomatoes are one of those things that I can't just grow a few varieties of. And this year, like every year, I really wanted to grow less because I always run out of space. But like every year, that doesn't happen. So let's take a look at all of the varieties I'm planning to grow this year. First up, I'll start with the new to me varieties. First, we have Dr. White Cheese. This is just one that I have heard about for a while and have always wanted to try it, so I decided this was going to be the year. I do tend to favor yellow tomatoes, so I figured it would be a good one to try. Then we have Lemon Boy, another yellow tomato. This one I have heard so many people talking about, especially in the last year, and for the most part, everyone's been raving about this one, so I figured I had to try it to see what the hype is. Next is Black Crim, yet another variety that I have had on my to grow list for a few years, so I'm finally giving it a try after hearing great things about it. Chocolate cherry is one I'm excited for. My cherry tomatoes tend to do really well, and a lot of my gardening friends have recommended it, so, like the others, why not give it a try myself? And then moving along, I have Arkansas Traveler, and I am trying this variety because last year I grew seeds from a mislabeled seed pack, and I came up with a mystery tomato, and I believe it may have been the Arkansas Traveler. So I'm going to grow it as well as the mystery tomato from last year again and see if it is in fact my mystery tomato. I'm also trying the plumsicle tomato this year. It sounded interesting and I was making an order with this company anyways so that I could get this variety, Bubblegum Centiflora. And at the time that I bought these seeds, I could only find them from this company, which made me a little nervous after getting many mislabeled seed packets from them in the past. But I really wanted to try it because it sounds super productive. And if I am overall trying to grow less plants in future seasons, then I need the plants that I do grow to be productive. But some of my friends who are really into the tomato community have said that this variety is controversial because it is quite possibly a tomato that is already named that this company renamed. But honestly, it's hard to say if that's true or not because many varieties can look similar, so I'm just going to grow it and see how I like it. Okay, moving along to some of my repeats or ones I like to grow every year, starting with this one. This is one that I accidentally cross-pollinated. I call it indigo banana, although there are some places selling a tomato called indigo pear that looks like this one, but I know for a fact that the one I have in my hand was cross-pollinated with an indigo kumquat tomato and a banana legs tomato, which is why I call it indigo banana. Anyways, I like the flavor of it, and as you can see, this tomato isn't in its prime, and I have it to save seeds from, not to eat, but I picked this tomato back in November, and it's almost March. The shelf life of this tomato is incredible with no cracking or splitting, and it's fairly productive too. Now we have black cherry, and this is one I liked so much that I grew two plants of it last year. But depending on space, I may only be able to grow one plant this year. But this is a reliable producer, and the flavor is really good. Next is Thorburns Terracotta. This is one that I got as a free seed packet with an order, and I ended up really liking it. It's nice and smoky, yet mellow. Black Beauty is next, and while it's only been moderately productive for me, the taste is nice and fruity, and I really like it, so it's still worth growing for me. Next is Sweet Splash Electra. This variety has variegated leaves, and the fruits are yellow and taste kind of citrusy to me. And last year I grew this one in a container, and it did really well, so if I run out of space in my raised beds, this one will go in a container. Then we have the purple tomato. This one is GMO, but not in a concerning way. It was bred with genes from snapdragon flowers to be this purple, and it was bred for health. I liked the taste, and they were extremely productive for me, so I will continue to grow them this year. Brad's Atomic Grape was quite possibly my best performing tomato plant last year. The plant was a little later to produce, but it was well worth the wait because once it got going, it really got going, and the plant got so huge that I had to add extra supports. And the plant gave me tons of tomatoes, and I really enjoyed their flavor. Next up is Sart Rollois. I have been growing this one for a few years now. It's so pretty and tasty, so I have to keep growing it. Paul Robeson last year for me was a new variety, but I really liked its flavor. And when I first tried it, my thoughts were, now that's a good tomato. And so I'm excited to have it in the garden again this year. Chocolate Sprinkles is one that I tried a few years ago, and I finally remembered to get new seeds for it this year. These are fun little tomatoes with great flavor, and I felt like the plant was a good producer for me. Next is yellow pear, and while they may not be the most unique tomato in taste, it has always been a really reliable producer for me, and I find these tomatoes are great for freezing and cooking, so I'll be growing them again this year, and I am actually going to grow two plants because for the first time, I am going to try grafting tomatoes. So I got these four tomino rootstock seeds, so I'll plant some rootstock seeds and then see if I can take a cutting from a yellow pear tomato plant and graft it. The idea is that you can make some varieties more stable or perform better, and I read that yellow pear is a good variety to graft, so that's what I'll try and compare a grafted plant to a non grafted plant. Tigerella is one I grew a few years ago, and I would like to revisit this year. It's said to do well in cooler climates, and our summers have been a lot colder than usual, so I think this will be a good one to keep in my lineup. It's been a few years since I grew Berkeley tie-dye green, and then my friend gave me Berkeley tie-dye pink seeds, so I'll give those a try finally as well. The issue I had with the green ones were that a lot of the tomatoes came out cat-faced, which is that webbing on the bottom of tomatoes. It's pretty common in beefsteak tomatoes like these. However, the flavor was really good and it's a gorgeous tomato, so I figured I'd give them one more try along with the pink version. Next up is Blonde Kopfchen. I might be mispronouncing that name, but it translates to little blonde girl from German, and these are little yellow tomatoes. I bought a plant a few years ago from a nursery and I saved the seeds. It was a fun variety and I recall them tasting great, but it has been a few years since I grew them because I wanted to try other varieties, but I wanted to give them another try this year. Honey drop is yet another one I'll be revisiting again after a few years of not growing them. I really enjoyed their flavor, but due to space reasons, they haven't made the cut when I have had so many new varieties to try, but I would like to add it back to the mix again this year. Black strawberry is a variety I haven't grown in a long time, so I would like to revisit it while hopefully some of the seeds that I have are still viable. I thought this variety performed well for me and it was a good producer, and many people say that the flavor is bland, and I felt like some were a bit bland or mealy, but I also had some really good ones too. But I want to revisit this variety again because, as I mentioned earlier, productive varieties will be favored in future growing seasons. So I wanted to give this variety a try again to see if the flavor can be more consistent this year and to see if it's something that I want to keep in my lineup moving forward or to just forget about. Mr. Stripey was one that I tried somewhat earlier on in my gardening journey, and I felt like I didn't have the best soil when I grew it the first time, and therefore it didn't perform well. And this year I've decided to give it a better shot now that my soil is much better and see if it's something to keep growing or not. But the few tomatoes that I did get, I remember enjoying their flavor. Green zebra is one I have tried to grow for so many years, but each year from various seed companies, the seeds produced red tomatoes. I can't believe how many companies had mislabeled this variety. So I'm really hoping I can get the right plant growing this year because this is one I have really wanted to try for a few years now, and I have just not been able to due to the mislabeled seeds. Another seed packet that I think was mislabeled was chocolate stripes. I feel like what I grew from this packet was mislabeled because I did a review on chocolate stripes and someone told me that they didn't think that it was a chocolate stripes tomato. And upon looking at it more, it didn't look like how it should have. And I think it might have actually been a vintage wine tomato. So I'm planting a seed from this packet again, and hopefully the whole packet wasn't mixed up because just like Isis Candy, I grew an Isis Candy tomato plant. Then last year, the plant from the seed packet gave me that mystery tomato that I believe to be Arkansas Traveler. So I'm hoping I can get an Isis candy seed from this packet again this year because that was a nice tomato. It was very productive and tasty, so I was bummed to not get them last year, although I did like that mystery tomato. I sadly don't have room for more, and to be honest, I don't even know if I have room for everything that I mentioned in this video. But my dad grows tomatoes too, so I asked him what he was growing to see if I could eliminate any from my lineup, and he will be growing Sun Gold, Sun Sugar, San Francisco Sunrise, and Cherokee Purple, among a few others, but those four varieties are ones I would have wanted to grow myself if I had more room for them. And truthfully, I didn't work them into my lineup this year because I usually buy Sun Sugar and Sun Gold starts from Grocery Outlet because their plants are so healthy and cheap. And I've never saved seeds from them because I never realized when I was eating the last tomato from those varieties. For San Francisco Sunrise and Cherokee Purple, I only had a few seeds of each of them, and I gave them to my dad, and he did save seeds, so I'll let him keep growing them. It was hard to make some cuts this year, but each year I hope to eliminate some so that I can have less plants overall to care for, but I also want to save some room to try at least a few new to me varieties every year. So this year might be a hectic year for me to try and find space for all of these tomato varieties, but maybe next year will be more simple. But knowing me, probably not.